Hello community and welcome to this chatty vlog. I apologise for the great big, like, what's-it-call-it, shadows. It's the only way I can get the lighting good because I've noticed on a few videos that it's been really grainy and that's because of the lighting. So as much as I'm just like, I've got my lamp on me and so far I can see that it looks quite sharp compared to as it did. So that's good, because I had to delete one video because it was so grainy. It looked so bad. So if you see me looking over there, I'm actually looking at my PC screen because I've got some pointers to talk about in this video. And this is just going to be more of a kind of down-to-earth chatty video because I am not quite sure what to make a video on earlier. And then I sat down and thought about it and I was like, do you know what, I need to talk about things that I've personally struggled with. And I know that a lot of other people probably have. One thing I've really struggled with is, sorry, my partner's just come back, so that's the front door going. Loss of interest. I've had a big shift, and the cat's getting up, so if you can hear all of that background noise, that's what it is. Hey kitty, are you coming down? Here he comes. You'll hear. That wasn't a very graceful landing. He just tried to make it look like it was graceful and just walked off like nothing happened. That was quite funny. I have lost interest in a lot of games. I've lost interest in playing games for the most part. I've played some. I've mainly played PC games, but for the most part I have lost a lot of interest in games. When the first lockdown came down, I played games all the time. And I really enjoyed like replaying the old Resident Evils. I'm sorry if me turning like this bothers you. It's just what I do when I'm just sat chilling. Hey kitty. Hey squiddy boy. The cat just popped his head round. And the Mat popped his head round. Do you want to come on camera and sort of formally introduce yourself?
No.
Didn't think so. You can bring the kitty. Everyone will be looking at the kitty. Everyone will be like, oh my god, look at the Gomez, it's very cute. I'll move a little bit. Oh my god, look at the kitty.
Hello.
This is the kitty. That's the kitty. This is the Gomez, he's kind of chubby. Eats a lot. He's very cute. But I've suffered a large loss of interest in games. I've not really had interest in playing games for a while, just mainly because I've played them to death. And I really enjoyed, you know, just going through all of the old games. Photobomb kitty, he's looking at me, he's not looking at the camera, he's looking, there you go. This is the boy. This is the boy. The kitty. Oh, kitty, come here. Oh, kitty. Oh, you soft boy. He loves the cuddles, he's purring. Oh, kitty. I'll just hold him like this as I do the video. I've not played most of my games. I've played some PC games like Slime Rancher on PC and Age of Empires. That's about it. That's all I've really played. I replayed all the Silent Hills, I replayed all of the Resident Evils and all the other stuff, and it was fun at first, but now I'm like, I just can't.
Except the remake of Resident Evil 3, it's shit.
Yeah, it's awful. I hate that game so much. And I'll try and get back into them and see if I can do some streaming for you guys. But other than that, I just don't feel up to playing games. And one issue I've had is nothing to focus on other than the house, which is great. I'm going like this because I can see the cat fur. You guys can't, but I can see the cat fur. You little fluffy boy. Look at the camera. It's you. Look at it. Nope, he's not looking. But I just had nothing to focus on other than, oh, I'm going to do this to the house, then I'm going to do this to the house. Which is fine, but it gets to a certain point where that becomes everything and you don't have any hobbies anymore, which is kind of why I started YouTube again. Oh, he's moving. Oh, is the squiddy boy moving? Oh, he's a baby. Look at this baby. Now I can focus on this. Oh, are we going this side? I just wanted to swap sides. One-sided baked. Oh, look, kitty. Look at the camera. Look. Sniff it. Look at the camera. It's you. He saw himself in the viewfinder. That's cute. But nothing to focus on other than kitties. Oh, there you go. There you go, boy. I'll put him on my meditation cushion. He loves it on there. And the house. And then as soon as things started happening to the house, that was it then. I was like, oh, for God's sake. And I've suffered a lot of self-doubt. I've really struggled thinking, you know, is it right that I'm doing YouTube again? Because things have changed a lot and I'm not doing the same content as before. And I was like, you know, is this a good idea? And in the end, I just decided that I just needed to bite the bullet and just kind of do it. Just go back to doing YouTube. And I feel like it's difficult because on one hand, part of you's like, oh, but what if it goes wrong? What if people don't like it? The thing is there are always going to be people that don't like it, whatever you do. Like, it doesn't matter if you do everything right, there is still going to be people who don't like the content you make, don't like you for whatever reason, and that's life. And that's the same in any situation when you think, you know what, if they don't like me, I want to make friends. There will always be someone who doesn't like you, and probably for one of three reasons. One, they either feel threatened by you, two, they're jealous of you for some reason, or three, they want to actually be you. And that is the three main reasons why people don't like you, I have discovered, and there's been psychological studies done on it. I'm looking at the cat, he's come back. And it's been found that that is the way it is. People will not like you for those three reasons. So when you get hate online, don't think of it as like, oh, people hate me. No, people are jealous for some reason. People want to beat you or whatever. And that is part of the problem. Like, people see this stuff and they get really disheartened by it. I've been disheartened by it in the past. That's not why I stopped. But, you know, I've had shit in the past and it does make you feel like crap. And stress and change has been a big thing for me this year. Like, I know everyone else has had the same thing. Our routines have been destroyed. And because of that, I have had such bad sleep. Like, my sleeping pattern is ruined for the most part. I cannot get up in the morning very early. I just can't anymore. And I think it's a combination of the fact that, I mean, the weather's grim. Look at that. And it is that kind of bluey colour outside, by the way. Oh, cat's in the window now. Bye, kitty! He's not even bothered. And it's just a case of just kind of seeing it from the best perspective you can, but it's very hard when you're tired all the time. And I have been trying so hard, honestly, guys, to get my sleeping pattern back where it should be. And it's impossible. It's impossible because we're not expelling the same amount of energy we used to. I used to go to the gym and stuff. I've spoken about it in other videos. And I used to sleep like a baby because I was tired. And, like, it doesn't matter if I do yoga and stuff in the house and walk around. For some reason, I'm just constantly tired. I don't know what it is. And, like, I've been taking my supplements, you know, keeping my hydration up, doing my meditation. I'm just always exhausted. And I genuinely think because of the current climate, the fact that we can't do anything and I'm bored a lot, you know, and if I'm not bored, I'm doing chores, which is boring in itself. Even though I'm doing something, I'm bored of doing something. So you're kind of in this weird, like, I'm bored for not doing anything, I'm bored for doing things. I want something different, but I can't do that. So then, you know, for a while, I was just relying purely on online shopping. And I know so many other people done that. I've got cat fur on my face now and it is tickling my face. Ah, really bad. There it is. It just went. But it's a case of, you know, trying not to worry about stuff, and I'm glancing over on that to make sure I'm checking everything off my list of everything I wanted to mention, because I don't want to go on too long, but I don't want to miss things out. And I know that you guys have had the same problem, and I wish I could come out with a solution, but honestly, there isn't one. Like, I don't mean that to sound depressing. If it does sound depressing, I really do apologise. And that was never my intention. It's just that there is no solution, there is only acceptance and then moving on, if that makes sense. It's like, as soon as you accept the fact that you're bored and that things need to change, and you accept that and move on from it and try and do what you can, that's like other things. So like, I'm trying to save up money and get us more financially stable. And I'm trying to sort out my sleeping pattern, and I'm trying to drink more water and trying to do more mindfulness. These things are all things that I've accepted that, you know, we're in lockdown. We don't know when it's going to end. And that's okay, because at the end of the day, it's out of our control. And the current climate is out of our control. Everything's out of our control. But in that comes a peace, because if you think about it, if it was in our control, how stressful would that be? Like, we'd all be so stressed. I would be stressed. And the fact that, you know, I'm doing what I can to make myself feel better and be a better person whilst I'm in the house, to me feels more productive than just going, oh, it's fine, and just trying to do other things and trying to buy stuff offline, because that's what I was doing for a long time, and I know that a lot of other people have, and honestly, you're not alone, and it is a hard time. I have a lot of doubts and a lot of issues, and I know everyone else does, and it's normal too. At the end of the day, it's very normal to have these sorts of thoughts and feelings and doubts and things. And I feel like if I share my doubts and thoughts and feelings, that if you guys share yours, we can kind of help each other. I don't know. I just want you guys to know that you're not alone, and that I've been having the same problems. Because I kind of feel like I've not really talked about it, and I kind of came back and I was like, oh, mindfulness, and I'm really positive. I don't want to play down the fact that I have had shit mental health since lockdown. Everybody has, but honestly, my mental health has taken such a huge hit, which is why I was doing the mindfulness and everything, and I still am. I mean, I meditated just a little while ago, and honestly, it's really hard. This last year has been so hard, and this year is proving to be worse because my house is falling apart, what it feels like. I mean, it's not, but when you keep finding things wrong with your house, imagine that it feels worse. So, you know, it's one of those things. So I won't keep whittering on, because I know that I've kind of digressed and stuff in this video, but I just really wanted to get my thoughts and feelings out there. Just because, as I say, I don't want to play down the fact that I have suffered this last year so badly. Everything else has been horrendous. Like, I've been so depressed, I've been so anxious. I remember the first time lockdown was lifted last year, and I went to draw out money out of my bank account, and I was shaking. Like, it sounds dumb, I know it does, but I was physically freaking shaking. And like, it was such a strange thing, because everyone was just walking around, no one had masks on, everyone was just walking around like everything was normal again, and I just remember being so anxious. And ever since then, I've been so agoraphobic, like, and I know people use a lot of, like, mental health, like, terms really lightly, like, they're like, oh my god, I like my pen sorted into thingies, into different colours, OCD! No, I don't mean like that, like, oh my god, I was, like, so agoraphobic, there was, like, 2 people. No, I mean, like, I was physically shaking on the brink of a panic attack because there was that many people, and my brain was just screaming, COVID. And I was like running away from people. And I'm still like that. I hate going shopping because people don't social distance when you're shopping. People come right up to you, and I feel like screaming at them, social distancing. People don't take it seriously. People come in and their masks are like there and their noses are hanging out. It's useless. And it's just things like that, and I'm like, this is why it's still a fucking problem. And everyone's mercenary and wants a fight as well, I've noticed. Like, people are really, like, people have always been kind of rude anyway, but, like, people are so rude, like, so rude when I'm out and about, and just so nasty and rude and mean, and they just want to have a go at you. It's like, I went shopping for just some oat milk, and I'm half blind in one eye. Like, I can't see from there backwards. I can't see this side. Like, I can see my hand here, but there, it's gone. I've got none of this bit where my PC is and stuff. I can't see there. It's black. There's nothing. And I was walking along and someone bumped into me. Now, obviously, I kept walking forward and they came out at the side of me. I couldn't see them. They blindsided me completely. I couldn't see them. And they gave me so much crap. They were like, oh, watch where you're going, me, COVID, oh, you're not social distancing, you don't give a crap. They properly gave me a lot of just abuse. Proper abuse over it. And I said to them, I was like, I'm partially sighted. I am literally half blind in that eye. In that corner, I cannot see at all. It is black there. There's just a big black line where my vision just cuts off. And I felt so crap after that, and I really wanted to punch him in the face, but because I'm a decent human, I didn't. But God, if I wasn't, I wanted to. I really did. And I was so like, you know when you're upset but you're angry at the same time? I was like that for like ages afterwards. It was bad. I was so annoyed because it was just so rude and so nasty and so unnecessary. It was just like, look, just don't see a person and just decide, oh yeah, I'm gonna verbally abuse that person as hard as I can. Because that's precisely what they did. And it's obvious that they wanted a fight, and I don't get why people are like that. And there's so many people who are just out for a fight. And I've been wanting to go for walks, and I've had a couple of walks, but for the most part, I don't go out. I stay in, because there's so many people like walking around. Because before, when it was the first lockdown, people did stay at home. Like, you'd see the odd person and they'd be on their own, they'd be walking, and they'd keep their distance from you, right? You know, they'd see you come in and they'd cross over the road, or you'd cross over the road, and, you know, everyone was cool. Now, people don't cross the road. People get nice and close to you, don't give a crap, they're not wearing masks. I can't wear a mask when I'm walking around properly because I have asthma. I can't breathe. But if I'm in a supermarket or if I'm in like super close proximity, I'll just quickly like shove my mask on. So, you know, it's not too bad, but it's got to the point now where there's groups of people and they're just all walking together and none of them have masks on, and there's like a group of 3, 4, 5 people just walking around. And it's like, you know, I feel now that I can't go for a walk and be safe, if that makes sense, like take the precautions necessary, because it's not just like there's a couple of groups of 5 people. No. There's loads of groups of 5 people, 3 people, so many people. There's big groups of them, and there's loads of them. There's multiple people in large groups. So on this side of the road, let's say, or on the pavement, you got 3 people. On that side, you got 5 people. Take your pick. Either one is bad. So then you end up walking down the middle of the damn road around people because they don't budge. And it's just, and none of them are wearing masks. And it's just like, it's times like that where I'm like, I can't even go for a walk and take the necessary precautions to distance from people anymore because people don't move. When I'm walking to work in the morning, it's the same. People don't move. And it's like, people have just gone like, oh, I don't care. And then that's their decision. They've just decided they don't care. And they're not going to wear a mask, they're not going to get away from you, they're not going to leave you alone, they're just going to walk straight at you, and if you don't move, they're not going to. And I don't know why people have done this, like, weird U-turn, because at the beginning, everyone was like, oh, we're all in it together, we're a community, and people were nice, people were helpful. Now people have got this horrible attitude of just, fuck you, that's their attitude. If you don't want to move, they're not going to move. You know, they're not going to wear a mask. They're not going to move. They're not going to get out of your way and distance from you. They don't give a shit. And I don't know why people have started doing that, but honestly, the sheer amount of people doing that is unbelievable. And the sheer amount of people aren't picking up dog mess because people are just like, oh, well, it's lockdown. And there's just dog mess everywhere. It's so bad out there. And like every time I go out, I'm just amazed at how much worse it is than I remember. And I'm like, yep, nope, staying in. And it sounds terrible, but I would prefer to feel safe in my house, know that I don't have any risk of getting COVID, cuddled up in a fleecy blanket doing yoga and drinking water, than going outside and risking being around people who aren't even taking basic fucking precautions because they seem to think that it's not real, or some stupid excuse, or whatever excuse they've got. I want to know if you guys feel the same, you know, if you guys feel the same way as I do. What's your opinion on everything that's going on? And, you know, what difficulties have you faced during lockdown? And it doesn't matter if they're the same as mine, put them in the comments. Let's talk about it. Let's help each other through these hard times. I genuinely feel like building a community online of people who are compassionate and actually give a shit is better than trying to make the general public listen, because nobody's gonna listen. They're not listening anymore. And on one hand I can see why, because people have kind of got to that point where they're like, I can't take this anymore. But there are a lot of people that are just, they're becoming mercenary and becoming quite nasty about it, and I don't quite understand why, personally, because it's like, look, we're all just doing the best we can in the current climate, and everyone's just kind of getting on with what they're doing. People are just getting on, because that's all you can do. But I'll stop rambling, and I hope I can help you guys out and we can have a nice little chat in the comments below. Be kind, because everyone's struggling at the minute. Everyone's having problems. Everyone's struggling. It's hard for everybody. So just bear that in mind. And be kind to yourself as well, because people aren't really reminding people about that. But be kind to yourself and stay hydrated. On that note, I'll see you very soon. Take care of yourselves. Love you.
Bye.